But my other problem with the movie was that
I thought it was
Stallone has never been really good at sharing the spotlight with other people. I mean, he really kind of took a lot of took the lion's share of the spotlight. You know?
you serious? You thought he?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, he did take a lot of the glory, but he gave everybody their moments, and that's nice.
I really think Stallone was quite generous, giving some of the like this is a bit of a spoiler, but he gave some of the big final fight scenes to Terry Crews and Randy Couture, rather than taking them himself. Like he gave himself the showdown, but
he gave himself the filler as well.
But the most badass fights in the film he gave to other people.
That's true.
Considering he broke his neck though, filming that one scene with Steve Austin, I think that says something there, right?
The guy's intense.
Yeah, yeah.
I also wish that Dolph Lundgren did more.
I thought Dolph Lundgren actually had a lot to do. He was pretty interesting. He had a good role, at least. I mean, the fact that he had a drug problem, the fact that he was trying to he was trying to get a hold of himself in a way, but he wasn't able to do that alone. Because they weren't helping him out, and he needed their help, and that's what they realized later on. But the fact that he was just driven to make these crazy decisions, like, the infamous insect moment.
Man.
Yeah. Wasn't that one of your favorite moments, eh?
We're not going to spoil it for you. Let's watch it for yourself.
That was definitely one of my favorite moments. And I'm going to say something that, you'll never see him again after, the same way again after this, but think of him as a Gary Busey on steroids. He looks exactly like it.
Nice.
You'll never see him the same way.
Yeah.
But it's sadly, the truth.
That explains the drug problem.
I think Jet Li must have had the biggest sense of humor on that set. Him and Randy Couture, because Randy Couture gets the worst monologue in the history of action films, complaining about his ear problem. And meanwhile, Jet Li, half his dialogue is all him saying, I'm smaller than you guys.
Well, he got a little bit of a trade-off, I mean, sure he gets mocked for his size, but he gets to kick Joel Lundgren's ass for a few minutes,
Yeah. Well, any other opinions?
Just go watch the movie.
Watch the movie now. Don't bring a lady with you unless you don't mind a little facial hair on her.
Yeah.
I think that requires an explanation there, Hamburglar.
This thing just pumps the testosterone. I mean, if she goes in there a lady, she might not come out a lady.
You might want to test her after the film.
Yeah.
Another thing. If you were a guy who has a girlfriend and she chained you into watching Twilight or something, now's your chance to get some payback.
So, should we give it a number review?
Well, I'm not a big fan of number reviews. Well, the last time
does it.
The last time Hamburglar and I did a review together, he made me give a number scale, give a number out of 10. So, in light of that, let's just give another number out of 10. Let's hear what you guys have to say.
20.
20 out of
0.
10. Oh, so out of 0.
And that's infinite.
That's like infinity times 20.
Okay.
I'll give it a 12 out of 6.
A 12 out of 6. Nice. Well, it's hard to beat infinity.
Well, infinity plus 1.
No, you guys are going to hate me. I'm just going to say 8 out of 10.
What?
7 or 8 out of 10.
Are you kidding
me? What? There have to be some kind of underlying discrepancies you've had, because I think you're hiding something. Come on.
I guess the problem with me is I'm not the most suitable action fan. But, I mean, I appreciated this movie a lot. I mean, that's why I'm giving it a 7.5 or an 8. I'm giving it around that. I appreciated it. I appreciated it for what it had to offer. But some of the stuff was just really ridiculous.
Well, that's because you set your standards too high. I mean, I understand that you're a fan of very quality-made movies.
Yeah, in light of that, though, I should say a second viewing helps. At least it helped me, because I knew what was coming, so I was able to just sit back and enjoy it.
So does the third and the fifth.
Anywho, any final words? We're gonna give the final words to us individually, so we're not talking over each other. So, Hamburglar, your final words, please.
Watch this movie now.
So, Rorschach, here's your final word.
This is the most badass movie of the millennium.
The millennium?
Yeah, the new millennium, because there's plenty of classics before. And this one stands proudly among the classics.
All right.
So exactly.
That's fair. Well, as for me, when I saw this movie for the first time, I left the theater just thinking, you know what, I can't review this movie because it's not a movie meant to be reviewed.
This is just a movie you got to see with your buddies and have a great time of it, you know, laughing about it afterwards, talking about, oh, how cool this action was, you know. If you like that kind of a movie, then you just gotta go with it, I guess, and if you don't like it, then that's that. It's just not a movie to be reviewed in the way that I usually review movies.
Oh yeah, this is definitely just one of those movies you watch with your friends, talk about it after, about how badass it was.
The thing about this movie is it's not satisfied with taking just one action star and reliving the glory. He basically takes the light and shines it on as many other action stars as he can assemble. I mean, he's gathered a giant cast. Everybody here agrees.
A cast of titans.
Exactly, and but he's taken them all into the spotlight. So it's funny to think of them as supporting roles when they're normally lead actors carrying whole movies on their shoulders. And it's just really funny to see them working together in such a common proximity with each other. I don't think I'm very far off when I say a lot of people were waiting for this kind of movie a long time, and now it's finally come, and those people are going to love it to the death and destroy anybody who disagrees, I guess.
If I may add one more thing, just one last thing I'd like to add. This is the best movie Stallone directed. I mean, there was plenty of good ones he did, but there's a lot of steaming piles of crap.
Well, it takes a Stallone fan to admit that, I guess.
Yes, I have another thing to say. Kind of a warning. After watching this movie, I feel like I've taken a life. It just feels like I've killed someone. It's so intense. I feel almost like a murderer. I just...
Take him to the police.
Heed my warning, that's all I can say. If you don't want to be a killer, watch it anyways, but still.
Well, this has certainly been a fun experience, not just watching the movie with these two, but also going through this review with them as well. I'm sure you guys had a fun time listening to us.
The editing streak's going to be a mile wide.
Anyway, this has been Jimmy Steller,
Rorschach III,
Hamburgler55.
And we all wish you a good night, and
we'll be back.
Yep, and apparently so will the Expendables. Can't wait for the sequel.
I'm going to be seeing that day one.
Oh yeah, good night guys.
Signing off.
Peace.